Hey guys, we're out here in the United States. I live in the United States, but guess who's out here from the UK?
Hi guys, Esther Austin from On the Sofa with Esther, sitting with Bobby, CEO of Soul TV, and I am in Vegas. I am in Vegas today, enjoying the sunshine. It's the tan, all the way from the UK. Oh, everybody's hello, Carlos, Reginald, hello. Yeah, just joining Bobby.
So, how's the weather in the UK?
I think they said the weather has got quite nice. It's quite warm and hot since I left. But I've got my tan, so I'm not really focusing on the UK at the moment.
Thank you. Okay, now, I've been wanting to ask this question forever. Okay, in a peanut shell, in a nutshell, even in a crab shell, who is Esther Austin?
Oh, who is Esther Austin? You see now the shoes on the other foot. Who is Esther Austin? I'm an adventurous Sagittarian, always striving to be the best that I can be, to have fun, and to just, try different things, do different things, be different things. Yeah, be as creative as I want to be and can be. And that's why you got to listen to On the Sofa with Esther every other Sunday.
Yes, definitely. And you know what really blows my mind is I only see her over the computer. Now, this is like the first time I actually get to see her in real life. So
because there's a reason, peeps. Because I am in the States at the moment promoting the spring issue of my magazine. I was at the Oscars gifting suite last week. I will be at the Grammys gifting suite next weekend. So, it's about progression. It's my magazine. So I'm not just a presenter on Soul TV. I also have my own magazine, and I'm so glad to be in Las
Vegas.
Las Wages. Yeah.
Las Wages. Well, hopefully no Las Wages yet. But we're out here having a great time. It's plenty of sunlight, and we're both working on our tan here. So we're about to enjoy some. What is it you like to eat?
Oh, grits. I discovered grits about 4 years ago, and I love my grits with some butter, pepper, and shrimp, and some cornbread.
Cornbread. So leave in the comments if you eat your grits with sugar or salt and pepper. What does Esther like her grits with? Let's just settle this right now.
Salt and pepper with lots of butter and some shrimp and some cornbread.
You can tell she's from the UK. Cornbread. Hey, but anyways, we got to talk some business because we're gonna bring you guys the best experience possible, humanly possible, through both of our brains, and Anthony B as well. Anthony couldn't make it out because obligations. He's got his shows. So Esther's down here at the Soul TV studios, and we're gonna work on a couple of things to get some more content to you guys, get you guys some superstars on, and hear their stories.
Roy Hamilton Jr., the son of Roy Hamilton. I interviewed him yesterday. He took me for a tour around Vegas, so I'm going to be putting out a little documentary about that. Gemini Burke,
I love that.
son of Solomon Burke. So there's lots of good stuff coming up. And I met Louis Pryce. He was the lead vocalist of the Drifters and the Temptations. I met him at the gifting suite of the Oscars last week. So hopefully I'll be interviewing him next week. So as Bobby said, and I did butt in, so I do apologise, but as Bobby said, lots more great content coming on Soul TV your way. But in the meantime, I'm getting ready for my grits and my cornbread.
Cornbread. Hey, so Esther, let me ask you something. Let me see how good her memory is. Esther, what's so special about today?
Oh yes, it's Bobby's birthday. It's Bobby's birthday from CEO. Happy birthday to you. Or should I do the Marilyn Monroe version?
Okay, let's hear the Marilyn Monroe. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna be 20 again.
Oh, whatever.
All right, you guys, I will let you get back to your Sunday. Beautiful Sunday in the United States it is.
And it's probably beautiful in the UK, but at this moment in time, I'm not too bothered about that because I'm here, you're there, and I'm going to have my grits.
That's right.
Happy birthday.
All right, we'll let you guys know if they were to her liking, because you know they are grits from the United States. But you don't have grits in the UK, right?
You do. I actually discovered some. Yeah, they do, but they don't actually sell. Can't actually get them in like restaurants, but you can purchase them and cook them yourself.
I think at so and so's cafe, the ones that sponsors Anthony's show.
Okay, they do grits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So if you're out there in the UK, hit her up for some grits. But she's about to get the United States grits right here on Soul TV. But anyways, all right, say goodbye to everybody.
Okay, bye everyone. Bye-bye.
My name is Louis Pryce, and I'm the former lead singer of The Temptations and The Drifters. And I'm here visiting, who am I visiting?
Turning Point Magazine.
Turning Point Magazine. And I want to share a little tidbit. I just got back from England, London, Thanksgiving. I went there to be at the premiere and the red carpet photo op for the new theater musical, The Drifters Girl. And The Drifters Girl is about Faye Treadwell and the Drifters. I sang with the Drifters with Benny King and Johnny Moore. And I had a wonderful time. It's a beautiful, beautiful play. If you're in England, you got to go see it. If you're in London, you got to go see it. No excuse. Thank you very much, Louis Pryce. I'm out.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Robert, and he is one of the producers of the Summer of Soul, that incredible documentary that captures the stories of legends, and that's so important. And as you know, today I'm also celebrating the launch of Turning Point, Your Lifestyle, Your Wellbeing magazine, which also captures the stories of somebody. So, Robert, thank you so much for stopping by.
No problem. It was a really exciting movie to work on, and we're just so happy that people are loving it, and it's restoring history that was lost, and I know that's a goal that we share together, and so I encourage people to see the movie and support it, and peace.
Gentlemen, this is Scott, and he worked on Spider-Man, the visual effects side. So what was that like for you, Scott?
Well, first it was a lot of hard work, but it was also amazing to get to work on such a cool character that all of us kind of know from our childhood. You know, it's like so many kids look up to Spider-Man and, want to be him. And it's kind of cool just to bring that to life for everybody.
Yeah, because I believe I'm a superhero, and I went to see it, and I came out with all my spider things operating. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, Scott.
Absolutely, thank you very much. Have a good night.
Freda was a fast eater, so she eat up her food fast, and I was slow. I didn't eat much, and so one day...
May I take this plate, ma'am?
Yes, you may. She said, can I have some of your chicken? I said, no. And so then she's sitting there, and she said, Scherrie, look at that bug on the wall. I said, where? Right over there. I said, then I looked back down, I said, hey, what happened to my chicken? She said, you ate it. What? Freda taking my chicken. I must have been like about 11 or something or 12, and and back then we would go to the penny candy store and buy pumpkin seeds, but back then they weren't whole. They weren't whole. So you had to like literally take them and like get the seed out, and then so what I did is I hold like a whole pack of them, a little package, and it took me a while, and I put them in another, and I put them back in the package. They were all whole. Scherrie found it and she ate them all.
Ooh, I don't even remember that.
I remember it. True story.
I like Billie Eilish now, contemporary. But I like the Johnny Mathis, Nat King Cole, Diana Washington. My favorite singer was Ella Fitzgerald.
I saw her documentary at the National Theatre in London last year. What an incredible story. I was totally blown away.
I do an Ella show, and also I do the Ella play, where I portray Ella in the fat suits. And all the costumes, and I'm with other actors who play Norman Granz, her sister Georgiana, and her half that was her cousin Georgiana, her half sister Frances. So I'm going to be doing it again this summer in August back in New York. I'm going to be doing Ella Fitzgerald First Lady song, and it's going to be at the Madison Theater at Malloy College.
I think I'm gonna have to go to that. I mean, I don't like traveling often, but I will go for that.
And I've had some years.
Scherrie, what is your advice for good, healthy living, or just good living?
Well, I really don't watch what I eat. I really don't.
Okay.
I drink coffee once a week. I drink PG tips tea all the other days, 6 days out of the week, except for Wednesday. And I eat meat. I don't drink pop like I used to, because I'm drinking alkaline water now. But I try to keep positive thoughts, although it's been hard, especially these past 2 years since the pandemic. But having a passion in life, that helps you, because that elevates your spirits. And don't watch so much news. That's what my doctor told me. I was watching too much news. It was just depressing me, because everything's so negative now. Dang. But try to keep positive thoughts and finding your passion in life, whatever it is, and pursuing your passion. Because on days when I couldn't be creative, because I like to be a creative person, I write screenplays and stage plays, and days when I'm not creating, I get depressed, especially during this last time, this pandemic. But find your dream and pursue it, and just to be happy. That's what keeps you elevated and look to God. Look to God. That's the most important thing.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy your meat.
I will.
So what did you say is your advice for good living?
Well, I would say take care of your body. When I say that, participate in some activity such as yoga or Pilates, or just go to the gym working out. Do that. Keep your cardiovascular system active and going. And also eat right. Eat good vegetables. You can eat meat if you want to, but some people choose not to. So either way you go, you need protein, and you need roughage.
Whoa! So this is she's eating right. She's eating right.
I love food. I'm a food lover. And I take supplements. I take a lot of supplements because I am prone to have arthritis. I have to take glucosamine sulfate. I have to take hyaluronic acid. I have to take, and also exercise. Exercise that helps to keep the joints lubricated. Sign off. I can keep it. And for about 4 years, I can't even do it anymore.
Ted, boom, Ted. Oh. There you go, Mommy. Musically, professionally, right? Her teachers. Well, not even some teachers, but like, you know, in this Zoom era, she doesn't know how to work this stuff. So I'm like, okay, Mom, I'll log on.
I know, yeah.
So I'm just sitting in the front of the wall listening to these interviews, and I'm like, you did what? You never told me that. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? She's like, I don't know. You know, so I can only imagine what you all may go through. It lets me know to ask.
Yeah, YN, like she's a year younger. And YN sings Neighbors, right? And Sheila, you know, she would always do it because she was copying Sheila. They've been in all of rehearsals.
Yeah.
So they've been there and copy. You know how Sheila does. You know,
Very dramatic.
Okay.
Stuff on Neighbors and stuff. But that's how my other daughter does.
Yeah.
So
That's YN.
I was like, wow, but they can really copy us. And then Wendi would copy me by screaming, but I was squall.
Mom, and it's so funny because when people hear, she goes, well, you gotta know how to squall. I'm like,
They never
that. She goes, ah.
Yeah, you know, what is that? That's like, yeah, that's the gospel. You know when we got so
The new people, right? The younger people, they go, oh, please, can your mom please teach us how to swell? I'm like, swell?
That's what they call it now.
Because they don't know, and I'm laughing. So it's just funny how what you know based on how close you are. I'm hearing y'all talk about conversations, and I'm sure she had a lot of those kind of stories, and we would never know to ask. We wouldn't know where to start.
Yeah.
But until we hear her with her friends or people who've been in
start? How do you separate the present from the past?
Sheila did that, my sister.
Yeah, that's like Alan and Marilyn Burns.
Oh, wow.
She would do all the Doors. She knew every Doors Day song. I was like, oh,
Doris Day.
Doris Day. Last month, we had a whole thing on it. My father had us watching the Lennon Sisters and all that.
Yeah.
We did all their songs. We did it on Jerry Van Dyke show.
Jerry
that was
Van
Dick Van
Dyke.
Dyke's brother.
Wow, yeah. Wow. So you guys really started out with, the
it's on
basics.
YouTube, and I
The
think
basics.
it's on YouTube. I was like,
That's like dancers. I think nowadays these dancers who do all this hip hop stuff, the real basis for being a great dancer is to have ballet, boom, and then you go on to modern dancing, modern jazz, and then hip hop, and then you incorporate it all. It's the basics. It's the basics.
It's the grounding.
It's the grounding.
Well, so you both took dance like that. I mean, I remember.
Yeah, we took ballet.
You did too. I went to a school here in LA that was like as close as you can get to fame as possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to On the Sofa with Esther. And today with me, I have an incredible person. I always have incredible people on my show. His name is Wayne Vaughn. Wayne Vaughn. He is the husband of Wanda Vaughn of The Emotions. You remember The Emotions? So welcome. Ta-da! Fantastic. Wayne, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. Now, I'm going to ask you the same question I ask all my guests. Who is Wayne in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or a crab shell?
No, I'm going to take a crab shell because I love the taste of the delectable crustacean. And in a crab shell, I would be one that moves around a lot. And not to be a hermit crab, but the crab that has its own shell and own body, own kind of thought process. So I'm an independent thinker and I think for myself. And I mean, I'm a simple soul. I'm not very complex, less movable parts. And I like to make people feel good, happy. I don't like to bring people down. I like to bring and uplift people and uplift humanity. So if I had a job to do in this world, it would be to uplift and give. And guess what? When I give, just blessings come to me without me trying to go off and say I need to do or whatever. But power of the spoken word is the most powerful force on the universe. So when I say I want to do something and speak it, there's nothing I've not said that didn't happen.
Excellent, excellent. You certainly are a man who is in control. Not in control in an egotistical way, but in control of who he is and responsible for his actions. So, Wayne, we are now going to take you back a little. I mean, you just played a tune that you did when you were in your 20s, but just give us a little bit of history in terms of your involvement in the music industry, because I know there's so much that, but we're going to just give people a little taste of that particular journey.
Well, the journey started early in life, you know, elementary school, playing the flute. And then from there, I went to learn the piano, or tried to learn the piano, still learning. And I was at 13, so from 9 to 13, and then from 13 to 16, and then that's when I decided I wanted to be a musician. I was torn between a scientist, a mathematician, or a musician. So I decided to go with the music because I was very passionate about it, but I was also passionate about science and mathematics. So and I still am, you know, I was into astronomy big time and things of that nature, but the music stuck. So I went to learn everything that I could learn about music, and I went through high school and went through college. Then I graduated from UCLA, and from that journey, it took me to meeting Quincy Jones and going on the road with a group called the Brothers Johnson, and I was touring for many years out on the road, like 6 solid years, and then maybe a couple of more, where I met a few more artists, and I met a lot of guys, seen them come, seen them go, and I decided that the road life wasn't necessarily that I was cut out for. I wanted to start a family and, you know, do all that stuff. So that would have me to be in town more. So if I could be in town making the same or better money in town, then it would afford me to be able to have a family and come home and play with my kids at night, as opposed to me living out of a suitcase every night.
Excellent.
So
excellent.
It came from there. So that was the journey to get to that point. And then from the Brothers Johnson, a little group named The Emotions opened up for the brothers. And in that journey, I met Wanda, and then we got married, and I started having a bunch of kids. I made a joke with her and said, I'm going to keep you barefoot and pregnant. But the power of the spoken word once again, because I literally did that. And not really meaning to, or not giving into consideration that what I had learned about the power of the spoken word, one thing about it, it does happen. So jokingly I said it because I've always had a wedding date for me set on June the 33rd. It had been there since I was a kid. And it finally, June the 33rd finally came, and I got married and had the babies. And then the journey continued by meeting Maurice White through Wanda, because they were being produced by Maurice. And I met Maurice, and we were working on the Emotions project. And he says, Wayne, you got any songs for the fire? And then that brought us to me working with Earth, Wind, and Fire for that was in 1978. And I worked with them until 2005, that I did the last record on Maurice singing a song, right when he was going through the beginning of his Parkinson's disease. And we had a great relationship. It was a lot of fun, and we just kept doing music, and he influenced me in a lot of ways. I was already who I was, but then his work ethic was outstanding. He was infectious with going in there and making stuff happen. So I came out of that relationship, and then we started, you know, Wanda and I started having, you know, with the kids and everything. I settled down into raising children and having fun doing that. So each thing, from music to raising a family to cooking to designing clothes and then having them realized, and any and everything that I wanted to do, I just said, hey, I want to do that, and I started doing it.
Excellent.
Lead singer.
So this is your mother as the lead. Wow.
So when I was 14 and my brother was 12 years old, and we began doing a tribute album to my dad, which was called, and our group was called the Hamilton Affair, and we did the tribute to my dad was called the Hamilton Affair. The album was called For Roy.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was really great because we got with Clyde Otis, the music producer, and he said, oh man, you guys can sing, so let's get together and do something. And we put it together. And we went to Columbia Records, and they put us on Monument, which was the subsidiary from Columbia Records. And that was one of our titles. Let's Write a Love Song.